I've been trying to record this video for over 6 times in the last few weeks. So this is take 7, and I'm going to reveal my journey into the different kinds of religions, because I was curious why so many people finding Jesus these days, while other people leave their religion to find their meaning and inquiry into spirituality. So this is what I found. Stay tuned. I was born on the Bible Belt in the Netherlands. Yes, we've got one too, and I lived in the middle of it. But so I was surrounded with a lot of children, all from different kinds of religions. I played with them, I ate with them, I watched them praying. I was alone when they went to church, and I was jealous when they got to pray and when they suffered for something and I got to do everything on my own. My father was an atheist. My mother was a non-practicing Catholic, which found her meaning in New Age and spirituality. So I was seen off from the devil when I was young. I also experienced people singing for me with torches to rescue me from that. So I've seen it from the inside. But I've also seen the bad part of it. I saw children who were very religiously brought up, who were very dishonest and mean, for example, to children like me. I can relate to that now. No, not relate to that. I can understand that now, because they were also taught that I was probably from the devil and a sinner and whatever. But I actually had a very pure heart. I was brought up by 2 autistic parents, which taught me honesty. There was never a word of dishonesty, and there was much love in our family. And I also had a very deep connection with something divine that I couldn't name. So I was alone. I was alone for a lot of hours, always in conversation with something on the other side, which I called home. So when I was older, I started teaching about non-duality, because I surrendered to that divine. And I always inside thought that all the big religions pointed at that, but I never knew for sure. Along the way, a few students tried to bring me to reading the Bible. And I tried it, also in my youth, but I never came through the first page. So a few months ago, I again received an email from a student, and she said to me, "Your teachings are so of value. They also could be very beautiful for Christians, but they need to trust you, so you need to learn their vocabulary." And so I started to become interested. I even started a Harvard class on that. And I bought all the holy books of the big religions. I ordered the Bible, the Upanishad, the Tao Te Ching, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, what have I here again? The Ramayana, the Dhammapada. I ordered everything and I started reading. And I also recognized a lot in those books. I even read sometime the Bhagavad Gita, and I thought, oh wow, those are the same teachings I give my students for years. Ooh, what is this? But I'm drifting off topic. So, what I discovered is that all religions speak of 2 or maybe 3 big questions. What it is to be human? How is creation made? And how can I connect with the Creator to be a good human in this creation? And I love those topics. There are topics that are so familiar to me. They drove me all my life. And so I started to read and understand the vocabulary and see the similarities. And then also I started to understand. I started to understand why Christians are so focused on believing in Jesus. I started to understand why, for example, the Hindus needed to know the 3 gunas to understand how to be a good human. And so I also started to understand the gap that, for example, Jesus needed to help us with, because there's a huge gap in being a sinner and to surrender yourself to the divine. And that is actually exactly why I think there's so much people exchanging their religion, leaving Christianity or leaving spirituality and find Jesus. I believe actually in the end everyone needs to surrender to the divine. And I also understand that there needs to be a living teacher to get there. Because we need an example, we need a frequency, we need to tune into something. Because being a sinner means that when we enter this human existence, we need to learn to be a human. We get all this equipment we aren't used to. We get a mind that can be delusional. We get a body that can be addictive to sensory grievings. And we have an emotional system that responded on that and can deceive us. But when you get to know, that is what drives us to sins. But that is also what we need to understand to be a good human, because this is part of being human. But we can only do that when we can look through the eyes of the divine and uplift those tools to bring them and use them of service to something divine, because in the end that is what this world needs. But it needs it all. And so I see people who are brought up in Christianity who maybe understand Jesus and God, but don't understand the human sins. That is and how to ascend them. And that is something that spirituality or New Age teaches us, because that teaches us to go within and look within and figure that out. But in the end, we all need that surrendering to something more profound and more divine than this human vehicle, which in the end will get you to see that this human vehicle and this creation is the divine. Well, I may be starting to talk abracadabra. I'm sorry for that. So let me tune in and to feel what wants to be said. the moment that I started tuning in into all these religions and scriptures, actually is really to get to understand the vocabulary. Because when I read those books, it also feels a bit of a distraction, because the direct connection with the divine and the recognition in everything around me actually is in the end something of the heart. And so the scriptures feed the mind and try to point out the connection with the divine, because the moment that you surrender to the divine, the energetic realm of sattva will rule, and that will actually ascend the mind and the body. But it is still the vehicle that we need in this reality, so it all belongs together. So depending on where you are, for some people it is truly needed to go inside and to get to know the equipment that the Creator has given us. For other people who try to solve everything by trying to use those things to accomplish certain success or happiness here, really need the surrendering to something divine, which is pointed at in religions. So in the end, for me, they all belong together, because we need to bridge the whole journey from the sinner to the surrendering. So I'm very curious where you feel that you are in that journey and what you truly need. So both are totally okay, because we cannot predict what someone needs. You can only feel that by yourself.